welcome to the Splash Live. I'm Ronita. We want to say thank you so much for sharing your morning with us. And we have a great first topic because I don't think so many of us realize bees, yes, the bees that we run from, are actually a very crucial component to our food supply. But they and other pollinators are in decline right now and they need our help. And with us this morning is Kaityln Stocker. She is a nature intern with the West Bloomfield Parks. She joins us this morning with all the buzz. Get that, Kaityln? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
You know I had to get some pun in there somewhere, right?
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Can I just ask you, how's your internship going?
It's going wonderful. I love the animals here at the Nature Room at our Civic Center location. And I help in the nature education in programs and events. I love it.
So where do you go to college?
I went to college at Oakland University and I graduated during the pandemic.
Oh, well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Although I feel like you guys missed out on so much.
I know, I agree, unfortunately.
But what a cool internship that you're doing. What made you be interested in this area?
So I graduated with an environmental science degree. I love the environment and everything that nature has to offer. So I think it's really great to be able to just walk outside and be part of the world around us.
You are so cool. You're our next generation of leaders, and we need people like you. But we want to talk about what's going on with really, it's the bees. I don't think people understand bees are so important to our food supply. I know I never knew that. However, it's not just bees, it's really pollinators. So if we can kind of talk about that, what is a pollinator?
So a pollinator is any bee or butterfly or bat that needs the nectar from a flower, and they use their bodies to transfer pollen from plant to plant, and they fertilize many plants.
So we didn't know that, you know, this is really what's happening right now with the pollinators and the bees is kind of really impacting our food supply. I know I didn't realize how important pollinators were to our food supply.
So like 80% of flowering plants rely on animal pollinators, and most of our pollinators are actually insects. And to put that in perspective, around 1/3 of the things that we consume rely on an animal pollinator, such as chocolate, coffee, or even cherries here in Michigan.
And you really did name like 3 great things, right? Chocolate we can't live without, coffee I can't live without, and cherries in Michigan. So great call on that one. So tell us more about really this effort, and it's not just here in Michigan, it's global, to try to address this issue. I know that we recently participated in the No Mow May, where you didn't mow your lawns. My husband, by the way, was very excited when I told him about that.
So initiatives like No Mow May help the initial wildflowers that are coming out for pollinators to get that first sip of nectar as they're emerging from their nests from overwintering. So not mowing right away is perfect for dandelions and clover to come out, and the bees can pollinate it.
Really,
and many other pollinators.
It's been a fascinating, eye-opening experience for me to learn about this, and I think so many of us are really just kind of uneducated about the importance of bees. So how can we help, other than not mowing our lawns?
So a great way to help is to plant native plants. We recently had our native plant sale, but there are many going on in Michigan right now. Planting in clusters really helps pollinators and insects to find a target for pollinators to be able to find their flowers. And we also would like to plant continuous blooms. So we'd want to see flowers from spring to fall.
So how do we learn more about what we need to plant? So what is native? And because I will say I'm a little challenged in this area, just so you know.
So The internet is a great resource, especially Michigan State University. They have a lot of resources on what is native to the area and what kind of plants you want to be looking for. Oakland County recently did a plant giveaway for native plants. So there's tons of resources available.
And when we're talking about this, I'm thinking of people, and everyone cares about their lawns, right? I mean, it's kind of your bragging right for some people. So is there a way to plant these and still have them be attractive?
Yeah, so I think when we think of native plants, we kind of do think of wildflowers and unkept areas, but we can actually make wildflowers look just like our typical gardens. It's all just about how you want to do landscaping in your garden. Our natives are actually quite beautiful, and they range in a variety of colors, and they're great to see out in the lawn.
So with that too, because every year I spend, well, we don't do the math, by the way. I don't do the math as to how much I spend on plants, because if I can keep them alive until 4th of July, I've been successful. Right, because then I find at the farmer's market the plants get cheaper. So if I have to get my second round, but with that, so these are perennials, right? So we can plant them and they come back every year then.
Yeah, there are quite a few plants that are perennials that will come back. Yep.
It took me a while to figure it out, because I thought annuals should really be perennials, because annual, like they would come back every year. But anyway, that's my gardening challenge for you. So I was recently able to do the Bees and the D, where they did the beekeeper for a day. And surprisingly enough, it was my husband who found the event when the brochure comes to our houses, right? And he didn't know that I'd interviewed Brian Peterson a few times, but I think he was so excited when I said, hey, we're going to participate in No Mow May, that we got signed up for the Bees and the D, and it really is an education about learning about the bees and the importance. I was a little nervous going in. I don't get near as excited about the bees as Brian Peterson and other people. I still don't think they're that cute. But it really is important, and for anyone who hasn't done that, it's a great education. And I know the cool thing about that is it's happening right there on the farm in West Bloomfield, but you guys have a pollinator week coming up. What is that all about?
That is from June 20th through June 26th. It's actually an annual national celebration to support pollinator health. And just because we do know that pollinators are declining in Michigan, for instance, the rusty-patched bumblebee hasn't been sighted in over 20 years.
What?
So, yeah. So we have to do our part, and Pollinator Week is a way to recognize how important pollinators are.
So with that, what can we do?
So what we can do is a lot of the loss is due to habitat loss or pesticide use. So when we do need things like pesticides, we need to make sure that we're using them correctly and follow the instructions on the bottles, and doing whatever we can, sometimes even insect hotels in your garden, and leaving some soil bare instead of putting mulch over all the soil. So that way our native bees and insects can burrow into the ground.
Okay, that's one thing. Thank you so much, because Kaityln, you know what? It takes an intern to bring this up, and all these discussions, I've never heard that before, and I'm about to mulch this weekend. I've learned not to do it early on with all the cottonwood and everything, because then it just looks like there's a bunch of snow in my mulch. Yeah. So you're saying it leaves some areas open then?
Yeah, for the soils, that way, you know, tons of bees, they actually like to burrow in the ground, our native bees.
See, you know, you guys are so cool, you interns. You guys are so much smarter than us.
No, not at all.
So globally, this is an issue not just here in Michigan, but this is really taking place across the country, right?
Oh yeah, across our country and across the world. Even some countries have banned certain pesticides because of the decline they were seeing in bees.
Can I ask you, when you have these conversations with people, how do they react? Because if you're saying, hey, I want to attract more bees and wasps to my yard, people are going to be like, hold up there.
That is actually the first response usually is, why would I want more insects in my garden? But they're actually a great way for us to get more flowers and more fruits and vegetables in our gardens. So even though they might not be that attractive, they play an incredible role in making sure our gardens are beautiful.
So I know you guys have some cool events coming up there at the West Bloomfield Parks. Do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, so we have Pollinator Storytime around the hive. That is on June 23rd. It's a great way to come out there at the hives and read a story. And we also have Pollinator Festival coming up on August 27th. And you can get more information on these events at wbparks.org.
So can I ask you, Pollinator Storytime, do you guys talk to the bees? Like, hi, Miss Bee, and because we know we need to have the queen bee. I learned a lot at the Beekeeper for a Day. You have to have the queen bee. So do you talk to them and like share bee stories?
I love that question. So at Pollinator Storytime around the hive, we have hives. I believe it's at Carner Farm, if I'm correct. Not sure on that. It's on the website though. But you go around, see the hives, learn a little bit about how beekeeping happens, and then they'll read a story separately to the kids and to the families.
So it's more for the kids and not for the bees.
Yeah, I do love that idea though. That's a great thought.
Well, I could see Brian Peterson actually probably singing and performing for the bees, right? Anything to make them happy. But it's been really eye-opening. I know that there are some places where they're concerned that the bees are going to become extinct because of the decline in the population. I know I never realized how important it was to our food supply.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, it's so great that you're doing this, and your internship is going well.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Well, Kaityln, thank you so much for being with us. You did a great job.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll see you out at the hive.
Yes, see me out at the hive, and if you need any questions, wbparks.org is the place to go.
You guys have so much information on the website. So what do you think if we dress up like bees? I know that for the bees and the D, like Beekeeper for the Day, we were in bee suits, but what if we were in bee costumes?
I don't think the bees would know what we were, but it's fun for us.
Yeah, I think you guys need like a big bee to read the story time. That's just my suggestion.
Hey, I like that suggestion. That's great.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. You have a happy Monday.
Thank you. You too.
Very important information. Please check out the West Bloomfield Parks website. They have so many great programs coming up. But again, take care of our environment. Bees are important, even if you don't like them. Hey, also, we want to let you know each week we like to highlight someone from the greater West Bloomfield community going above and beyond to improve our little corner of the world. Show your gratitude, tell us about them. We made it pretty darn easy. Right there, scan the QR code on the screen, grab your smartphone, fill out the Google form with the person's contact info and why you think they should be recognized. It could be a person, business, or an organization. You can also find the form by going to civiccentertv.com. We'll be right back here on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Taking a quick look at some of the things happening around town, Lily Pad Springs Twilight Edition. This is so cool. They're doing this for the first time this year. You want to get your tickets because this is a great way to enjoy the new water park. It's going to be Thursday from 6:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. The Hello Marla ice cream truck is going to be there. Now, you can pre-purchase your tickets at westbloomfieldparks.org, actually wbparks.org. To let you know, they have several of these coming up through the summer. The residents, you can purchase your tickets 30 days in advance, non-residents 15 days. Now, if the event's not sold out, the tickets will be available the day of the event. Also, keep in mind the City of Keiko Harbor kicks off its summer block party. It's a family fun event with live music. This week, the band is going to be Serious Jack, and we'll have food trucks as well as trivia that takes place Friday, June 17th, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Rose Sorter Park. And we want to say a huge shout out to all the volunteers on the Parks and Recreation Committee for getting this going. We so appreciate it. Hey, you're watching The Splash Live, a show dedicated to all things West Bloomfield, Keiko Harbor, Silver Lake, and Orchard Lake. You can catch the show live Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. and on demand. CivicCenterTV.com. We'll be right back after this quick break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Oh, welcome back. So as a DJ, Elrico Shelton has touched so many lives in the area, and the community continues to rally around him as he recovers from a stroke he suffered back in May. And with us this morning is Garry Crake Jr. with the Timeout Lounge via the phone. Thank you so much, Garry, for getting up early to be with us.
Good morning, Ronnie. I'm sorry I'm having technical difficulties with my Zoom, but I'm here.
That's okay. We all experience those. Trust me, 2 years into this. I didn't even know what Zoom was before the pandemic.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we're lucky to have you with us, though, because the great thing is you know Rico, and you guys have a big benefit coming up this week. Do you want to tell us more?
I would love to. Rico and Ryan are awesome people and friends, definitely friends of our community and our bar, like family. Anyway, this Thursday, June 16th, we're having a benefit for Rico. We're going to have a silent auction, starts at 5. It's going till 8. We're going to have lots of great things that the business owners in the community have donated. Gift cards, gift baskets, sports memorabilia, weekend getaways, recreational outings, art pieces, and much more. We got food, we got music. We're just trying to help them out as much as we can.
And Garry, I love what you just said there, is he's a friend of the community, because anyone who goes to our local restaurants and bars, they know Rico and Ryan, because he is like the smooth operator. And when it comes to karaoke in our area, we have a lot of really good singers.
Oh yeah, Rico is so talented in so many different areas, and he's so strong, and I know he's going to fight this and beat this and be back healthy here soon. I know he will.
So tell us about some of the events that he's hosted at your establishment.
Well, he pretty much does all our DJing, Halloween party every year, Christmas party, you name it. Every party, Rico's involved with it, and we're glad to have him.
So have you been in touch with him and Ryan to know how his recovery is going right now?
Yeah, we went up and visited him last week, and he's getting better every day. It's going to be probably a long journey, but you know, you look at the alternative, I guess, right? But he's doing. You know, it's gonna be a long journey, I think. But he's gonna beat it.
A long road to recovery, and the great thing is what you just said, Garry, is that the community is coming together, which really kind of talks about the person that that Rico is by having this, because I know this is the second benefit for him. And what's his reaction in knowing about the support?
He's thankful. I mean, he's thankful to. We went up there the other day, and the nurses are like, "You got a lot of friends," because he's had a lot of visitors and people that care about him, and he's very thankful.
I know that for so many people, his saying is kind of like, "Be nice, be safe, and most importantly, always be number one." That kind of talks to the person that he is. So
that's for sure. That is definitely Rico's slogan: "Be number one." So we're looking forward. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ronnie.
Oh no, go ahead. The benefit, because it's really open to anyone to come up, right? It's not just the silent auction. It's come up, drop a few bucks in the bucket, because every dollar counts. Exactly.
Ryan's also got his wife that also has a Venmo set up. I can give you that address too if anybody wants to Venmo them. It's Venmo at Ryan, RYAN-strong, STRONG-47. That's the Venmo account for them. And we're just, anybody can come up. We got lots of great food and music, and 50-50 raffle or whatever. Just come up and show your support. You know, it'd be awesome.
So can I ask you how long have you owned the bar there, Garry?
My family, we've owned it for 35 years.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time. How are you doing after the last 2 years?
We're hanging in there. I mean, it hasn't been easy for anybody, obviously, but we're not going anywhere. You know, keep moving forward, I guess, right?
Right. I think it's so important, though, the local bars, because you're a community, you're a part of the community, and that shows in trying to do a benefit like this or to try to help someone locally, because it really is. How much would you say your customer base is the same customers coming back all the time?
Oh, I mean, gosh, a lot. I mean, probably, 70% is our regulars, from right around the bar. And a lot of good people, and like you said, we're definitely part of the community. If no one has been to Time Out before, if they don't know where it's at at 1003 South Cass Lake Road in Waterford, right on the edge of Kegel, obviously.
So how much did it hurt you, or did you actually benefit when the Cass Lake Road was shut down?
No, we all got hurt by that, and we're going to get hurt again, obviously, in August. But no, on both sides, it did not help business, obviously.
So, Garry, for a small fee, maybe I'll go up there and set my paddleboard up right at the edge, and then, paddle people across the water. Then they can walk up to the timeout.
I think that, hey, Ronnie, you should do that. Like an Uber on board, right?
Right, so we can just Uber across the waterways. You know, we'll make it two ways,
Yeah.
right? We'll take people over to timeout, and then we'll take people back for, you know, then they can go to Indo and Gino's and, you know, the restaurants on the Kegel side.
Of course, I think it's a great idea.
Well, we so appreciate your time. Again, tell people it's literally right on the corner. So if you're going to Dodge Park, it's in that shopping center right there on the corner. But like you said, you've been there for 30 plus years. You're a big part of the community. Anything else, maybe, Garry, I didn't ask that you want to add?
I think we about covered everything. Just like I said, it's this Thursday, June 16th at 5 p.m. Starts. And we're just trying to raise as much money as we can for these guys because they're awesome people.
You know, and for so many of us that have had family members that have suffered strokes, we know he has a long road of recovery ahead, but hopefully, you know, it's appreciated for all the efforts that you and so many other people in the community are doing to support him. So, Garry, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronnie. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Always fun at the Timeout Lounge. Again, that's going to be happening this Thursday. So please stop by and support one of our own. That's what a local community is all about. That's going to do it for today's edition of The Splash Live. I want to say thank you to our guests for taking time to be with us. And of course, to you as well, our friends in Sylvan Lake, Kegel Harbor, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield for tuning in. In case you didn't know this, by the way, you can also catch The Splash live on My Michigan TV. It's a new streaming service dedicated to telling stories about the people and places across the Mitten State. It is an app that is free to download for your smartphone or your smart TV. And of course, if you happen to miss an episode, you can always watch it by visiting civiccentertv.com and check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm Ronnie Dahl. We want to say thank you so much for waking up bright and early. We will be back tomorrow. Happy day.